Man, I stayed up pretty late watching Critical Role. It was a nail biter. I bit through all my nails. Hello, my name is Matthew Perkins, and today I'd like to talk about Dungeons and Dragons. That's right, both of them. I wasn't entirely sure what I was going to cover today until your boy Zipper on Disney came through with a really helpful tweet. And he suggested one of the things I could talk about was how to speed up combat. And that got me thinking about initiative. So let's talk about initiative. Initiative fills this really weird space because combat in a story is such a dramatic moment. It's such a dramatic beat to hit, and it's immediately followed by this strange bookkeeping. Immediately, the action stops and everybody rolls a dice, and then we put them in a sequential order, and then every round after that, we all go, okay, where are we in the order? So it's this really big speed bump that you hit. You hit this speed bump, and then you have this kind of job, this bookkeeping you have to do for the rest of the combat. So I want to minimize the speed bump, and I want to minimize the bookkeeping. When it comes to rules, my style leans towards making systems more simple rather than more complicated. So here's 3 routes we can go down. First is going to be the line. Second is Satine Phoenix's cards. And third is going to be the pre-roll. There's probably a 4th wild card as well. We'll get to the wild card. The line, which I've always pictured as a yellow line, the line is something I saw at Adventurers League. It might be from one of the old DMGs, but what it is, this is the way it works. You roll all of the monsters on the same initiative. Every single type of monster and every individual monster all gets the same roll, okay? And that roll represents the line. Let's say you roll a 17 for the line. You roll that, and then you call for initiative from the players, and you say, if you got above a 17 or a 17, you're above the line. If you got below a 17, then you are below the line. And the order of combat just goes everybody above the line in any order, then the line, which is the monsters, and then everyone below the line. The thing is, this doesn't necessarily get rid of the speed bump element. It kind of minimizes it a little bit because we don't have to put it in order, and it kind of minimizes the bookkeeping after, but only a little bit. So I think that's useful and interesting for large groups, but it doesn't 100% solve my problem as much as just alleviate it a little bit. Solution number 2 is to do Satine Phoenix's cards, which I call Phoenix cards. So for whatever reason, Satine Phoenix prefers to not have to deal with that kind of math and that tracking and that number work. So what she does, I heard her say this in an interview someplace, she tends to just put every character and monster's name on an index card, to shuffle up the deck, and that's your initiative order. Flick it up, that's whose turn it is. And the reason I really like that is because there's drama in the randomness of it. We don't know who's going to flip up next. I think that's really interesting. There's also the option to reshuffle round by round, which might slow down the game actually, but that's an option for some drama. The thing is, this totally gets rid of the speed bump. There is no downtime between... Come on, mate. What are you doing? There's no downtime between starting combat and then start flicking cards. We don't have to do any math. There is still that bookkeeping of having to flip up cards, but I still really like this solution. The only real con to it that I can think of is it doesn't take into account each character's initiative bonus, so I guess it makes everybody feel a little bit samey, but that's okay. We can be samesies. I don't mind. Solution number 3, that someone's probably done before, but I had the idea of just pre-rolling initiative, not only for the monsters. What I would suggest, and I might even try this one day, is you just get everybody at the start of the session to make an initiative roll, and you write down that number, and for the rest of the session, player, that is your initiative roll, and we know that order. The monsters have already been pre-rolled before the session as well, and the DM can just take a little minute before the session and make initiative orders for each combat. This is the initiative order for combat 1. Oh my god, he's knocking dice onto the floor. Oh god, I love him. So this is your initiative order for the first combat. This is initiative order for the second combat, and you've got them all preloaded. I think that could be really helpful for getting rid of the speed bump, but then there's still that bookkeeping afterwards. The wild card that I was thinking of is maybe you could just, this is crazy, but maybe you could just cut initiative out of the game. What if characters just went when it was appropriate? I don't know how this would work. I don't even know if it would work. Does anybody, have you seen a system where they don't have initiative for combat? I think there's a lot of juice. There's a lot of juice in that one. All of this isn't to say that I have any kind of problem with initiative. I think it's fine, but it's fun to try and experiment with this kind of stuff And you can make things a lot more interesting, even for one session, if you take a mechanic for a kind of monster and then flip it on its head. What if for this monster, initiative acts different? Anyway, that's me firing from the hip at initiative. So if you are interested in following this kind of stuff, I wrote a blog about this. It's at matthewperkins.net. You can read all about it. It's very exciting. I've got a Twitter, which is it's not. It's at mperkinsdm. I've also got a subreddit. The subreddit is r/Matthew Perkins. And I've also got a Discord. There's like 11 of us there. I actually let Discord name this video. I don't know if anybody even responded. But if it has a stupid clickbaity name, I'm going to blame the people in the Discord. So that's the end. Please subscribe to the channel. Do all the nice things. Be nice to your cat. You hear that, mate? Be nice to the cat. All right, take it easy. See ya.